Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome!
Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. I am your host Luke. This is Tilly the dog, and I'm here with
Josh.
And we're going to take you through everything that happened at the Frontline show on the 5th of October 2019. It took place at the Rushcliffe Arena, and it was the precursor to the WrestleGate show that we saw later on in the night. And I've got to say, if you got your ticket to WrestleGate, next time you go, make sure you can get to the earlier show as well, because Frontline
is top.
Brilliant. Absolutely top dog. If you like doggos, subscribe to the channel Cheap Shot Entertainment. I say you are the Cheap Shot Nation. Don't forget to go to the blogspot to buy your t-shirts and read the reviews that we write, and got Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, as well as other social media platforms to join us on for all your wrestling goodness.
Yes.
So without further ado, we're going to go into the main part of the show. We'll see you there, and we're going to take you through all the action, and hopefully Tilly's not going to get bored and leave us, so you can watch the doggo as well. She's settling in. So we move straight on into the first match at Frontline. It is Nadeem versus Cam Lucia, and I believe we've seen Cam Lucia before.
Yeah, I think we have.
As Buffalo Soldier. Might correct us if we're wrong on that.
I believe he was Buffalo Soldier at the last show.
They certainly had a lot of the same finishing moves, like it's a lot of the same moves that he was using throughout the match.
He did like a spin in the corner, didn't he?
Yeah, spinning body press in the corner, and things like that. But yeah, two warriors put on an absolute showcase of wrestling. I mean, it's no easy task to go into a show being the first on that show. It's down to you to set the precedent, and these guys definitely did.
They were both very worthy of starting it.
Yeah, definitely two really big talents here going forward in British wrestling.
But they're both young lions, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're both like, they're not in their stripes yet, have they?
Yeah, so they're earning their stripes as they go along with Frontline. Again, like I say, they're young lions, so that they do a lot of the same stuff as Japanese wrestling, where they earn their stripes, they put the ring up, and they start out as
pure black, don't they?
Yeah, start out as the young lions and then move on to become fully fledged professional wrestlers. But these two are definitely very much on their way, and it was a really good match. Both guys giving as good as they got to each other. Really enjoyed this one. But the finishing sequence was a spinning crossbody into a cross armbar. That was a spinning crossbody into the corner. Lucia then tries to get the cross armbar on Nadeem, who breaks it with a powerbomb.
He uses
all of his strength, deadlifting Lucia, planting him in the middle of the ring with a powerbomb. What would be a one-armed powerbomb, which is no mean feat. And this is followed by a huge clothesline right underneath the jaw of Lucia, and that is where we get the finish on this one. But very good match to get the afternoon started.
It was fantastic. The crowd were into it. It was good.
Nadeem picks up the victory in this one, putting away Lucia with a huge clothesline. Like I say, great opening match, really worthy of that spot. So we move on to the next match now, which is Chuck Cyrus versus Bowman or Bewman or however you want to
I think
pronounce
it's Bewman.
Bewman.
It's spelled B-E-A-U man. So
I know someone called Beaumont, and it's said Beaumont.
it's might be Bowman then.
So it's either a crossbow or a bow and arrow, or it's Bewman, which sounds a lot like a really rubbish sort of superhero. Chuck Cyrus' nickname is Mr. Massive, which pleased the contingent across the ring from us, from House of Pain
Shout out
Wrestling.
to Troy.
Shout out to Troy and the House of Pain guys
And big Sam Spencer.
as well. Quite a few local indie guys at these shows, in fact. So that was all very cool, and we obviously got chatting to those, as well as the Wrestle Talk guys, which we haven't mentioned yet. We met them; they're really nice guys.
Yeah,
so
lovely.
Shout
Lovely
out to
gentlemen.
Wrestle Talk. I know you aspire to be Cheap Shot Entertainment, but you know you'll get there one day. And yeah, so speed versus power in this one, as the crowd got behind Chuck Cyrus and mentioned that this guy does not skip leg day, and it certainly
Doesn't skip
looked
leg day.
that way.
Was he the one who was getting stuck in the ropes? Or now?
Yeah, he got stuck in the ropes.
A few times.
He got stuck in the ropes a few times. This led to Bowman getting the upper hand on him, working the legs, taking the frame away from the big guy. Obviously, a lot of his power, a lot of his moves would have come through his legs, his leg strength. But the action spills to the outside, like I say, is Cyrus getting stuck in the ropes, sideways in the ropes, because of his massive frame, which was quite funny actually. I found it amusing. So Bierman takes advantage, full advantage, working the legs of Cyrus here, and pretty much gets the upper hand on him here and starts working him
the smaller
down.
man comes out on top.
Lots of cunning here from Bowman, keeping the big man down, working the leg even further, and it worked for him. It really worked, and this match was interesting because of the dynamic.
Yeah, but Cyrus isn't an easy man to keep down, as he is. He's a big guy.
It doesn't skip, like we already mentioned, doesn't skip leg day.
Doesn't skip leg day. Have you got that across yet?
Yeah, it does not skip leg day, Cyrus. So the match would finish with a double powerbomb from Cyrus as Bowman is working over the big man. Like I say, a lot of that strength comes through his legs. Manages to pick up Bowman for a powerbomb. Powerbombs him into the buckle as well.
Yeah.
Buckle bomb. And that is the combination that picks up the victory.
It is.
For Chuck Cyrus. So I, again, really enjoyed this match. It's an interesting dynamic of speed versus strength. And both guys put on a decent show.
Yeah, it was a very good show.
Prefer Chuck Cyrus over Bowman. Didn't really know what to make of Bowman's character.
No, he was a little bit like Visage.
Bit arrogant. But Chuck Cyrus, straightforward, big guy, likes to banter with the crowd.
Yeah.
I like that. It's fun. So we'll move on to a tag team match
One
now.
of my favourite indie wrestlers at the minute, in Rocky Mac.
Yeah, the guy that Lee would moo at last time. And he is going against... he's in a tag team match with Scotty Davis, the Supreme Suplex Machine. And they're going against Bruno Brown, who you managed to convince your brother.
Yeah, Rampage's little brother.
That Bruno Brown was Rampage's little brother.
Yes.
His tag team partner
is Joe Nelson.
Joe Nelson, and this this tag team came together to fill a spot that was left by the tag team known
that
as
was the recipe.
No, I think they were on this show as well.
Oh, okay, were they?
Known as Pretty Deadly, who were doing both shows, and you know, they did a really good job.
Yeah, they did. They gelled well together.
They gelled very well together and put up a massive fight. I'm just going to go and check that. I'm pretty sure they were supposed to be here as well.
But Joe Nelson is another top favourite of mine. He's done Hope shows, and he's always impressed me with what I've seen from him.
Previously a Hope Young Guns champion, been in a main event match at Hope Wrestling as well. This kid can do it all. He's only about 18 years old as well.
He's one to watch. He's definitely one to watch.
And reminds me a lot of a Will Ospreay, or you know, that kind of character. And yeah, really, really good. Definitely one to watch. Scotty Davis, one of my new favourites from the last time we saw WrestleGate as
he
well.
Was there last time.
Supreme Suplex Machine, just because he's really good at suplexes, which I like. But he's got a massive moustache, and it's really cool.
He's like 12.
It twirls, and it's really cool. Bruno Brown is probably the only one we haven't seen.
No, we've not seen Bruno Brown before, but he was very, very good. Quite a big guy, isn't he, Bruno Brown?
And it contrasted well between the two teams. They had one big guy, one smaller guy between the two teams, and it worked really well. But the experience of Rocky Mack and Scotty Davis,
Rocky Mack's top notch anyway,
came out in this one. Like I say, the wealth of expertise leads to the first part of the match, which is a short exchange between Davis and Bruno, leading to a huge powerbomb by Scotty Davis, who is now showing why he is called the Supreme Suplex Machine, hitting a suplex pretty much out of nowhere. He came in with this one, just hit the suplex, just straight out, and it was really, really fun to watch. There's a double kick between the two of them. They take each other out.
Yeah.
Very much a Rocky moment there. Joe Nelson comes in. The super kick, a cross-legged assisted brain buster for the win.
Yep.
So yeah, there's lots of other action in this one, but I make very short notes, and I haven't gotten around to making them a bit better yet. But yeah, again, another really good match.
Was really
good. Really impressed with Frontline, and definitely on par, I would say, with WrestleGate.
Yeah,
apart
definitely.
from maybe the main events being that bit higher caliber in WrestleGate, they're definitely showing why they travel so far from London to Nottingham to put on the showcase matches that they do. But yeah, another good match. Don't think we saw the best of Scotty Davis in this.
No, we didn't.
There was there was a spot missing from Scotty Davis.
Stay tuned for the WrestleGate review, as Scotty Davis does perform on that as well, and he is very much improved.
Yeah,
in
very
the main
much
show.
A singles competitor in wrestling. Scotty Davis does do well in tag teams, but more of a singles competitor.
Could have probably saw a bit more out of him in that tag team match.
Yeah, it was a lot of Rocky Mack in that one. But the other team, Joe Nelson and Brown, put on a really good showcase of tag team wrestling. Quick tags in and out of the ring, isolating their opponents, and like I say, it would only be once the opposition had isolated. Who did they get the win on? Was it Brown or Nelson? I'm not sure.
Brown, I think.
They got the win on Brown. Once they isolated Brown, that was it. The expertise came through, and the high-flying nature of Joe Nelson and Brown.
My only problem with the Frontline show is that basically everybody's babyface, apart from the odd one. Everybody's babyface.
Yeah.
It's not heels versus faces. It's just face. Everybody's face. So
that being said, it doesn't take away from the action.
No, it's still very good action, and the crowd get behind who they want to get behind. But everyone comes out giving the high fives. And
Which is cool when you sat on the front row, especially, I mean, we were sat on the front row. I was going to say, especially if you're a kid, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
But I am a kid.
Exactly.
It was fantastic.
Well, this next match, probably
Match of the night.
Certainly match of this card.
I think it was match of both cards. I think it was the best one of the old day.
Callum Newman, who was billed as a young lion in this one, he's going against Malik, who we have seen before. I think we've seen Callum Newman before.
I'm not sure about Callum Newman. Possibly, though.
I think we saw him at the last Frontline show. Pretty sure we did. But, wow.
Oh, it was...
What a match.
So much high flying, all the flippy dippy stuff you like in British wrestling.
And again, conjuring up images of Will Ospreay, lots of running back and forth on the ropes, which is not easy to do.
No.
And we're at that speed, hitting all the moves and all the dodges and things like that, very much.
They were both
reminiscent of Will Ospreay, who incidentally started off the Frontline Wrestling organisation, which is really, really cool. Little tidbit that you may not have known. But if that gets you to go to the Frontline show next time it's in Nottingham on the 21st of December, I'm guessing it will be Frontline.
Oh, I hope it will be.
WrestleGate on that night. Then get your tickets for both shows because it is very much worth it. But after an initial feeling out process, Newman is the one to hit the biggest move to start with. He flies and uses his quickness to gain the advantage in this one over, I would say, probably the more experienced Malik.
Yeah, he's oh, there's Tilly.
And he uses his speed also, showing that he's got not only cunning and experience, but also speed in bucket loads as well.
Yeah.
And he gets a near fall on Callum Newman. Incidentally, we were sat in front of Callum Newman's family, which was really funny, because they were like, "Come on, Callum." And it was like dead funny. They were one step away from climbing over the barricade and swinging a handbag. You know what I mean? Callum flies again, gets the upper hand on Malik after that little flurry of moves. Hits a ripcord assisted clothesline off the ropes.
Off the ropes, yeah.
And Newman hits a destroyer, reversing the move.
And we're not allowed to call it a Canadian destroyer, is it just a destroyer?
Well, we're not in Canada, are we?
Okay.
Just call it a destroyer.
A Rushcliffe destroyer.
A Rushcliffe destroyer.
Yeah.
Reversing move from Malik. Callum Newman kicks out of Malik's finisher.
Yep.
Which was most impressive, and hits a reverse runner, double underhook, powerbomb, claymore kick, and this gives Malik the win over Callum Newman. So after that initial bit of a comeback from Callum Newman, Malik pulls out all of his tricks, digs deep,
and wins a match.
And wins with a decent flurry of moves. Looking down at what I've written there, because all of those moves require a lot of speed and a lot of precision to hit.
I was just enjoying the wrestling. I didn't make a single note. Now this is normally where the interval comes in, but for some reason they didn't have an interval.
They only had 6 matches, to be fair.
It was still needed an interval.
I think they had one last time, didn't they?
They did. So there you go, Frontline. Intervals.
And a raffle.
Yeah, there was no raffle.
Raffle! We'll do the raffle for you. Courtesy of Cheap Shot Entertainment. So the next match is a women's match, and it's the only women's match of the whole afternoon and evening. Because even WrestleGate sometimes, I mean, I don't think they did last time. They certainly did the first time we went, because they had the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, it was Shaq's, wasn't it, the first time we went?
Yeah. And so this is the only women's match. This is the only representation of the ladies that we had throughout both shows.
And one of them was a local girl.
Local girl, Nottingham's own Kanji, who you may have seen at the beginning of this video introducing Cheap Shot Entertainment, because that's the way we roll.
And did you manage to get that?
And she's going against Mercedes Blaze.
Very good match.
Yeah. Women's match, really good showcase of women's wrestling. Again, going with the whole flow of Frontline being a showcase of young lions, young performers, young wrestlers, up and comers, people who are training.
Oh, Kanji's definitely to watch.
And it's mixed in with the more experienced as well, because the main event
with your Rocky Max and all of that.
The main event was two veterans of UK wrestling.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. The action spills out onto the floor pretty quickly.
Yeah,
actually, after the initial flurry. Obviously, the House of Pain contingent ringside cheering on Kanji. Kanji trains with House of Pain and Paul Sticks Grint over in Nottingham. So they're all cheering Kanji, and Mercedes Blaze uses this to her advantage quite a lot during this match. But it is Kanji who would hit the first big move, doing a fake out dive, dumping Mercedes onto the floor, doing a fake dive. But this does lead to Mercedes coming out on top. Kanji misses the PK, penalty kick, off the apron, and this would lead to Mercedes Blaze pulling Kanji off the apron and getting the advantage in this one. But as the action continues to spill outside, it does eventually come inside. Kanji would get back on top again
with a missile drop kick,
and a super kick with a springboard cutter.
That was excellent. The springboard cutter was very good,
and a move that she does quite often and is very adept at hitting as well.
Not much older than 20 either, is she?
No, she's definitely one to look out for, and she has been on NXT UK. Well.
I have heard that. I've not seen it.
Has been on NXT UK, so there you go. So the rope-assisted cutter from the top, and Blaze obviously does that herself, and that's where we get the victory from. It's Blaze with the rope-assisted
WWE booking
cutter off the ropes, a bit like a Randy Orton rope-assisted DDT, but it was a cutter instead. Like an RKO type thing. And Blaze would pick up the victory, much to the disgust of the local crowd, expecting big things from Kanji, and she performed. It was a good match, but she came up ultimately short on this one. That being said, really impressed with Mercedes Blaze.
Yeah, Mercedes Blaze is very good. I think she's from London again.
Yeah, she is, I believe.
I think a lot of the performers from London. Some of them had to pull double duty as well. Yes,
they did, filling in for notable absences.
But we'll get on to that in the next video.
Yes, we will. So, the main event of this card was two veterans.
A match that should have been a lot better than it was.
The UK scene, perhaps a match that should have been a lot better.
It was a good match, don't get me wrong, but it could have been a phenomenal match.
But you get the feeling they were holding back a little bit for the main card. Rampage Brown versus Nathan Cruz. Nathan Cruz would obviously be in the Open Gate tournament.
Yeah, Nathan Cruz was in the Open Gate tournament.
And Rampage Brown was, of course, going against Lucas Steele to become the first ever WrestleGate heavyweight champion. And one thing I really regretted from last night is not going and having a picture with that title that was on that table, because they then moved it to the opposite side of the arena and we couldn't get anywhere near it.
No, they were taking pictures with it though. Taking pictures.
I did make a new best friend in this match because I was wearing this t-shirt, and
hang on.
And Rampage Brown came round and gave me high fives personally, and it's a family show.
Mine's newer.
Mine's old school.
Mine's better.
He didn't see yours though. He gave me the high five. Friends! Yeah, so like I say, it could have been a little bit better. It was a decent match. It was good. Nathan Cruz spent a lot of time on the outside.
He did.
With the crowd egging him on to get back in the ring.
Because we've got to address it. We don't do a 10 count at...
No, it's
Frontline,
20. It's 20, and that goes for the same with WrestleGate as well. So he's very much using the whole of that 20.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
utilising it all the way with going out, faking, coming back in the ring, and the crowd's going oh, and then he got back out again.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of pantomime.
It was very pantomime.
It was very pantomime, but. Once he's back in the ring, the action would start again, and speed is conquered by strength in this one, because Rampage would catch Nathan Cruz mid-air and hit a huge power slam and starts dominating Nathan Cruz, throwing him around the ring with ease. You would not know that Nathan Cruz is considered a heavyweight at this point.
Nathan Cruz is a big lad.
Brown Rampage showing why he is one of the #1 contenders for the WrestleGate Championship, hitting a flurry of huge moves, including shoulder tackle and a powerbomb to send Cruz down to the mat several times, picking up the advantage in this one. Again, back and forth contest. Cruz comes back, sends Brown into the post and hits a fireman's driver. The referee is taken out at this point.
Yeah, Cruz takes out the referee
and he goes for a chair shot.
On a it was an exposed turnbuckle.
Yes, it was an exposed turnbuckle. Cruz had brought a chair in.
Tried to bring a chair in, yeah.
The referee took the chair away from him. As the referee was getting rid of the plastic steel chair, getting the chair away from him, Cruz would take off the turnbuckle cover, and
the ref gets sort of smashed into it by Rampage.
Rampage charges in. Cruz moves. The referee doesn't. The referee is out. Rampage hits basically what I put here as an execution, which is a jumping sort of DDT, spike DDT.
Execution.
Yeah, the crowd continues to count, gets up to about an 8 count, and a replacement ref comes out. This is where we get the 1, the 2, but we don't get a 3 just yet. There's a fake out pin there. But Rampage does eventually pick up the victory.
Yeah, with both referees getting taken out.
The second referee got taken out. The first referee crawls into the ring. I believe.
Selling it very well.
Yeah,
he did sell it very well.
Sell it very well.
And he wins with a face buster.
He does. Wins with a flatliner, basically a jumping face buster, and that's my name. And that's my signature from my email because I copied it over. So Rampage would win this one. It would be his first victory of the night.
For me, it wasn't the best it could have been. It was still very good. Don't get me wrong. Both performers were really good, but it could have been phenomenal.
Yeah, it could have been a phenomenal match. Like I say, I get the feeling that both guys.
They were resting, weren't they?
They were taking it easy for their late. Expect them to
the WrestleGate show's classed as a main show, isn't it?
Yeah, and they both got big matches.
To be fair, I think a lot of people have pulled out, so I think they've just thrown that one together.
And that's the same to be said for a lot of indie shows at this point in time.
Thanks to Mr. Uncle McMahon.
Yeah, we don't know the full reason behind it, but if it's WWE, there's most likely a decent reason, and not just pulled them out to sabotage their competition like probably a lot of people are saying. There will be a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And it's not just one show, it's a lot of shows.
At least 3 people pulled out that we know of.
And I don't care who you are, if you get an opportunity to wrestle for the biggest wrestling company
Oh, you're
in the
gonna take
world, you're going to take it. As
Yes.
much as you want to wrestle
course you
for
are.
the indies, you're going to take that payday and you're going to take that exposure. But yeah, really good match.
Really good, yeah.
Could have been ever so slightly better. It could have been on the upper epsilon, but really good show. Capped off a fantastic show.
Fantastic show.
And what I believe, again, was on par with the later show as well.
Parts of it were better.
Personally, and I think, like I say, like Josh says, parts of it were definitely better. It was more of a mix.
You can tell it's Will Ospreay's training school
Yes.
that's provided the wrestlers.
Yeah, it was
You can
more
tell
of
it's
a.
Will Ospreay's baby.
It was more of a mix of matches as well, which is always good in wrestling.
We're not getting on to WrestleGate yet, are we? Because
No, so we're doing that in a separate video. But that has been all of the action from Frontline Wrestling, and I'm going to go into the outro now and give you a send-off. And so that is everything that happened at Frontline on the 5th of October 2019. It was the precursor to WrestleGate, which was Gate of Honor.
Gate of Honor, yes.
Which we'll do a review for in due course. And yeah, really good show. Really enjoyed it. Like I say, if you are going to the next WrestleGate show on the 21st, I was going to say the 25th, it's definitely not on Christmas Day. 21st of December, get yourself, pay that little bit extra.
Pay the little bit extra.
Pay the little bit extra and show your support for Frontline Wrestling.
If
as well,
you're not
because it's
going, I
really
would
good.
certainly suggest you think about booking that ticket and going. It's not an extortionate amount for 2 shows.
No, I think we paid 28 quid for
Yeah,
silver.
I wasn't sure if you mentioned money on the show.
Yeah, we paid 28 quid for silver tickets, so that's general seating, and we got decent seats for both.
We did get decent seats.
So it's well worth doing.
I think for front row it's £38.
Yeah, it's about 10 quid more, about 5 quid extra a show, which
So-
it is quite expensive for an indie show, but when you split it down, it's not too bad.
You get your money's worth out of it.
Yeah,
You do
definitely,
get
and
your
it's
money's
all
worth.
day. It's all day, so you can't really complain about it. It's still cheaper than a WWE show.
It is cheaper than the double, probably better in some ways as well.
And probably quite a bit better. I do like my indie wrestling shows, but I do like paying 5 quid for those indie
But
wrestling
indie wrestling shows is dead. English wrestling's dead.
No, it's not.
That's what people say.
That's what people say, but do you believe it?
No, pro
Exactly.
wrestling is live and well. It's
British wrestling is alive and well, and the revolution.
thriving.
The revolution is still ongoing. People say British wrestling is dead. I don't believe them. I think that British wrestling is the best it's been for a long
It's fantastic.
time. And if you find the right shows,
Yeah,
and there
like
are
your Hope-
shows,
Your Hope Futures.
there are shows, I'm sure, wherever you are in the UK that you can go to, you can take your kids to. If they're wrestling mad, 5 quid a ticket, can't go wrong with that.
No.
It's more expensive to go and watch Finding Nemo in the cinema. That's an old school reference, isn't it?
It is a very old school reference.
And
going back
all
15 years.
the rubbish that comes out around about Christmas. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like I say, go and support Frontline Wrestling at the next show they come round to on the 21st. If you like the show, if you want to see us do more stuff, and you want to click that subscribe button to know when we upload new content to the channel, that's the notification bell, just in case you're not up with YouTube. Join us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to go over to the blogger and click the link to the t-shirt shop and choose your colours and support the show that way. Also send us your suggestions for things to review, because we're always taking suggestions here. Done the first suggested review recently, and that will be becoming available very soon. And it was a nice little fun show, something that I'd never have thought of watching otherwise. So yeah, got suggestions, and as long as we can watch it, we will review that for you. Love wrestling, love doing these videos, love the Cheap Shot Nation, and I've been your host Luke, and I've been here with
Josh.
And this has been Frontline Wrestling on
Elite.
the Elite?
I don't know, I thought it made it sound better.
Summon Conflict.
Elite.
Elite at the Rushcliffe Arena on the 5th of October 2019. And thank you once again for watching.
Thank you very much.
And goodbye.